I've been doing stage performances since I was about 5, and even after all this time I still get really nervous before a show. This weekend just gone I sang in my first ever singing festival, which was also the first time I've ever sung a whole song solo in public before, so my nerves were pretty much all Over the years I've learnt through trial and error what kind of things help and what doesn't. So here are some things that help me when I'm struggling with nerves, and I hope they might help you too. It's much better to wake up feeling refreshed and ready for the day ahead than feeling like you've just crawled out of your grave. Easier said than done, I know. I planned on having an early night, so of course I started watching these at 1 o'clock in the morning. They played Maverick Bird for about half an hour, which I realised if you blink you die, and that reminded me of the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. So when I finally crawled into bed at 3 AM, not only was I scared about singing the next day, I was also thinking about mutant sponges with glowing red eyes and the Weeping Angels. Just brilliant. Keeping hydrated is really important, especially if you're singing, because you definitely don't want a dry throat. If you don't normally drink that much, then you might find it easier to have little sips throughout the day. I find that works really well for me. I also recommend tea. I love tea so much. A bit too much. Chamomile's really good. I think that's meant to help relax and calm you down as well. And bear in mind, if you're drinking more, then you're probably going to need to go to the toilet more. Don't leave it until they're cooling you up and you have to try and get through your whole performance wondering if you're going to wet yourself. Yay. This can be really difficult if you are so nervous you're feeling sick, but food is so important. If you don't eat, it's just going to make you feel lightheaded and like poo. I know from experience. And you don't want to pass out halfway through your performance. Over the 2 days, my diet consisted of bread, biscuits, popcorn, sweets. Not the most healthiest of options, but hey, something's better than nothing, right? Practice, 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 practice. Know every note, lyric, pause, breath. The better you know your piece, the more confident you'll be with it, and the less likely you are to make mistakes. Don't worry or stress out too much about messing up. We're all human and we all make mistakes. It's perfectly fine. I've made quite a few mistakes in my time, and hey, I'm still here. Honestly though, the audience aren't gonna chase you through the town with pitchforks and burn you at the stake if you mess up. You just need to have the confidence to carry on, and most of the time they won't even notice. But if they do, then if anything, they'll just have more respect for you for getting through it. The audience want you to do well. They're on your side, so don't be scared. If you find yourself becoming so overwhelmed and freaking out about everything, then you just need to stop and chill out. You need to divert your focus away from the performance and bring it back into the present moment. That's not happening now. You're here. Everything is fine. You don't need to think about that. That's happening in a few hours' time. That's fine. Some things I find that help me are watching funny cat videos, or playing on piano, reading a book, playing a video game, or watching one of my favourite TV programmes. Something you're going to enjoy doing that isn't too physically or mentally demanding, so you have some time to just calm and relax a bit. I find it's really helpful to warm up before you leave, and it's a good idea to practice your performance as well, just one last time, so it's nice and fresh in your mind when you get there. I'm one of those people who's always late for pretty much everything, so I know how hard it can be to get somewhere on time, but you want to try really hard to get there at least on time, if not early. What I tell myself is I need to be ready half an hour before I actually do, kind of like trying to trick myself. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so that might help. Enjoy it, have fun, have a great time, lose yourself in the moment. You're doing this performance because you want to. If you find yourself not enjoying the experience, then you might want to think about whether performing is for you, and that's okay. Sometimes you don't know until you've tried it. You did it! Yay! Be proud of yourself, be happy. All that hard work has paid off. It's okay to congratulate yourself and be proud. Look, here's my little victory dance. I had an amazing experience at the festival and I even won a medal. I've never won a medal before. I got a couple of certificates and some really good feedback. The adjudicator was amazing. She was so funny and lovely. I mentioned earlier that I've made a fair few mistakes, some of which have been rather embarrassing. At the time I had a rather awkward wardrobe malfunction on stage in front of hundreds of people. So if you'd like to hear some of those stories, then please give this video a like. If you have any tips for fighting the stage fright, then please leave them in the comments below.